The F word. Everyone knows it. We might hear it escaping parents' lips in moments of frustration. Many use it liberally, daily. Sometimes they only use it with people they know well, while others will speak it to any stranger on the streets. This word invades everyone's normal language, sometimes being received well by their peers, and other times with hostility. All understand the power behind it. All know the effect it has on their lives. This F word, feminism, is widely polarizing. Many love it, but many wonder how feminism can help us. They fear what is often based in tainted perceptions. They see that feminists demand the right to be able to hold authority in all areas, even in the home, and many Christians claim that it directly contradicts the Bible. Because of this, many of us ask how the Bible, which seems to give each gender their specific roles and identity, can have so much variety in it as to allow for feminism. However, those who mistrust feminism benefit from it every day. Without the work of feminists, women would not have the right to vote or have the tools to fight domestic violence and rape. Because of this movement, women can own property, wear pants, run for president, become CEOs, firefighters, and police officers, or even founders of classical Christian schools. Because of this, Christians should examine the Bible to see whether there is any correlation between biblical ideals and feminist ideals. We should ask, can Christians be feminists, and should we? Feminism began in America in 1848 with the Seneca Falls Convention. Since its birth, feminism has sought to make men and women equal and end oppression. This first wave, which ended in 1920, focused on obtaining legal rights for women, most famously, the right to vote. The second wave, that of the 1960s and 70s, aimed at making a world in which women could pursue a career and/or education while with motherhood without any social backlash. The third and most recent wave, which began in the 1990s and continues today, aimed at creating a world in which women could pursue the individual identity they see fit, no wage gap, and continued change in legislation and social perceptions in areas involving women's bodies and health. There are also evangelical feminists. These are Christians who base their argument for biblical equality on the Bible and hold it to be the ultimate authority. They base their argument on verses such as Deuteronomy 22:25 through 27, which improves rape laws, 1 Corinthians 7:3 through 4, which gives spouses authorities over each other's bodies, Mark 15:41, which shows female disciples of Jesus, Luke 7:37 through 50, which shows kind and uplifting treatment of women by Jesus, John 20:1-16, which shows women being the first to see Jesus after the resurrection, and Romans 16:12, which shows women in early church leadership. These texts show an improvement in the treatment and rights of women from the society around them and are the basis for evangelical feminism. Christians can and should be feminists because the Bible allows for men and women to be equal in society, and feminism helps to make this a reality. Equality means that any two individuals have the same rights, privileges, and opportunities, despite the personal ability or desire to exercise this. Christians can be a part of the feminist movement because of biblical evidence. We should be, because feminism has done things that are undeniably good for society. Gender equality means that each gender can have the same rights and privileges as each other. This does not necessarily mean that they should do all the same things, but rather that they should be allowed to. Equality in general means that any individual has the same rights, privileges, and opportunities as any other. However, not every person may have the ability or desire to do this, but no person should be legally limited from anything another can have or do. Another important definition is feminism. The feminist movement's primary goal has been to make men and women equal and end oppression. It recognizes that women are often treated differently, often lesser, and many of this stems from feminine qualities being treated as lesser. Feminism seeks to elevate women and end oppression, which comes from thousands of years of seeing women as lesser. Many Christians do not believe the Bible allows for full gender equality. In order to examine this, similar tactics can be used by those abolitionists in the early 19th century. Although the Bible does not say the exact words, slavery is wrong, we can look at verses which call the Christian slave owners to treat their slaves well, and verses which elevate the status of slaves to free men, and use those to say that God does not condone slavery in any way. There are some passages which show God's intention for biblical equality. One prime example of this is Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is no male and female, for you are all one in Jesus Christ. Here, Paul is telling the church of Galatia that salvation is the same for everyone who is saved. The purpose of this verse is to say not only that anyone can be a Christian, but that all Christians are of equal rank in God's eyes. This kind of equality paves the way for social equality. Another clear indicator is Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. As stated in the verse, men and women are created in the image of God, a distinction not made for any other type of creature. It can be agreed by Christians and non-Christians that there is something which is the basis for our legal rights. Christians say that this is the fact that we're created in God's image. By being created in his image, male and female are created equal. An instance of a person who shows God's intention for biblical equality is Deborah, an Israelite judge and prophetess who led in multiple ways. She held political, social, and military power with no indication of having any guidance or assistance from the men in her life, such as her husband Lapidoth or General Barak. Her authority was derived from God, which can be seen in her being both a judge and a prophetess, and the fact that godly men, such as General Barak, recognized her authority. And based on the fact that she helped to bring peace to the Israelite people, it is safe to say that women are not only capable of holding these types of leadership, but are also permitted. Another example would be that when Jesus was resurrected, women were the first to see him. This symbolic elevation shows the importance of women in Christianity and society. In Israel, women were not allowed to bear witness in court, yet after the resurrection, they bore witness to the disciples of Jesus' resurrection. This reversal elevates women to a place of political equality with men. The fact that God on earth elevated women in this way shows his intention for the rights of women. Many think that feminism is all bad, though. However, in the past, feminism has done good things. The first wave brought about women's suffrage. The second, more education and career opportunities for women. The third, a change in the way society thinks about rape and sexual assault, more fulfilling relationships, and balance to the American courts, just to name a few. Today, the definition of rape has been expanded to include more women and even men than ever. Marital relationships are more fulfilling because spouses are sharing the burden of earning an income, doing housework, and raising children equally. There has also been balance in the American courts in the sense that there are more female judges, and court rulings are now no longer favoring one gender over the other. Feminism has and is continually making the world a safer, happier, and more fulfilling place for men and women alike. Many Christians choose to avoid feminism, however, because many feminists argue for things that are directly against the Bible, such as abortion. Feminists such as Bell Hooks argue that in order to make motherhood not the one and only purpose of being a woman, women must have sex, and when impregnated, have an abortion. Because of this, many feminists say that in order to ever achieve biblical equality, men and women, women must have abortions. This, however, is one area of second and third wave feminism that is wrong. Ironically, abortion brings about less equality because it allows one gender to make life or death decisions for the other, both in the case of the fetus and the father of the child, which is something that feminism fights to avoid. Feminism and Christianity are not opposing views, but rather share many of the same concerns. Followers of Christ are called to treat everyone the way Jesus would. Christians need to demonstrate Christ's love by treating humans with love and respect, both male and female. Christ has given us all gifts and qualities, which we should use to proclaim his love and be a light in this world. Women can be a light in this world just as men can. Feminism helps women to do this to their fullest potential. Thank you.